Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal forecast for June 29th through July 5th. My name is Athen. So we've got a full moon this week on Wednesday here in that first house of yours in Sagittarius. So this is all about you, your goals, ambitions, your self-image, things that are important to you, your assertiveness. So all of this has been going through major changes, though, you in general, because of Pluto transiting that first house of yours for many years. So having that non-attachment with your goals and with your self-image and who you are and things like this has been a very important consideration, and it certainly is an important consideration during this full moon because it's going to be within a few degrees of that Pluto. So there with that energy, it's all about balance too, because you've got the Sun and Mars here in the 7th house about relationships. So I think there's a lot of direct energy, a lot of assertiveness and passion and just overall excitement through sharing, through relationships, one-on-one connections, or maybe through business and one-on-one exchanges, things like that. And so there's, always this opposition with the full moon, but especially because it's going to be involving two very transformative planets, Pluto and Mars. So here, the best advice I can give is to be as open to change as possible, which is exactly what Pluto represents. And it's through that change that through that openness to change that we find that flow and the peace, and things just naturally transpire in that way. So here, that's non-attachment, and then through that non-attachment, there's an openness to change, and then naturally the changes will unfold there. And again, finding that middle path, of course, with what you're doing, and of course, others, and not going to any extremes. This can also be a culmination point of any new beginnings you set off in regards to you. If you're watching this for your sun sign, for those of you who had your birthday 6 months ago, which was a new beginning there. So anything over the past 6 months, though, that you started in regards to your goals, I think this can be a culmination point of that. And also in relation to those one-on-one connections, which is where you had the new moon very close to that 7th house cusp, but also in regards to your routine and health and diet and everything else 6th house related as well over the past 2 weeks from that lunar energy. So that's Wednesday, but coming into this week, we've got Venus trining up to Uranus while she conjuncts up to your ruler here. So all in all, I think there's a lot of enjoyment still available, especially for you Sagittarians, with Venus conjoining your ruler. And even maybe things relating to home and family, enjoying that, and more opportunities with maybe connecting to friends on that level, and maybe even your routine and health can be quite enjoyable as well, with Venus ruling your 6th and Mercury is there. So I think you guys maybe have been thinking about the routine and the day-to-day stuff and work and stuff that is about either improvement or helping others improve. So that energy there is actually, I would say, quite supportive this week in general, especially the early part with this conjunction. More opportunities there to continue to expand on the deeper elements of life, the deeper bonds and connections, maybe through relationships, which is that 8th house, and finding the truth, expanding there, the wisdom, knowing the wisdom of truth, which is Jupiter in that 8th house. So that's the early part of the week, and that trine up from Uranus is suggesting that all this freedom with your feelings and maybe the home and past and domestic stuff that you've maybe recently liberated from with that eclipse energy is very supportive towards these deeper things and these opportunities and expansion here with transformation in your life. These positive transformations, I would say, or at least you're very optimistic about them, which is good, and enjoying it. So that's the early part. Wednesday, we have the full moon. Then Wednesday through Thursday, we have the sun trining up to Neptune, suggesting a flow with the relationship stuff for you in particular, especially when it comes to that self-expression through relationships, even optimism in relationships, because the sun does naturally rule your 9th house. This is from that flow and trust with your communications. And this is the things you've been perhaps reflecting on too, is how you're communicating, how you're thinking, this retrograde stuff. But it's important in the consideration of whether it's you're trusting and flowing, you have faith in the area of how you're thinking and exchanging with others. So anyways, that's very supportive this week. Again, you're very energized with that, with Mars there, but Mars is going to be squaring up to the North Node around the same time period, which does emphasize the importance of conscious attention towards work, I would say, this middle part of the week, or career rather, public things, big picture things, which has been this whole year energy of the North Node transiting the 10th house. So here, energy into work, career, I think you'll find very constructive on that level. Now on Thursday and then through Sunday, Mercury is going to be forming a lot of aspects, so I think there's going to be a lot of understanding, or at least opportunity to understand some more things with these sextile positions. On Thursday, sextiling Uranus again. I think there's some things to learn, and I think can be quite supportive about the home, family, things like that, helping you understand more about those things, maybe even relationship opportunities, because Venus does rule your 7th house, and opportunities at work as well could be a possibility for some of you. Mercury squaring up to Chiron is suggesting that there is some attention needed towards that, like I was saying, communications and how you're thinking about things. And I think you'll find that very healing as well, maybe even in regards to siblings or your peers on some level, which is also 3rd house. And then Friday and Saturday, Mercury sextiles up to this conjunction, Jupiter and Venus, in that 8th house. So again, understanding more about life, understanding more about you, understanding more about home, family, the values there, friends, your routine, all that stuff I've been mentioning with this conjunction can certainly be the case. Now, over the weekend as well, Saturn's going to start transiting houses, going into your 11th house here of the groups, the friends, community-related things, for you to put in some more hard work and discipline there, maybe even in regards to the income that you derive from your work, being second from the 10th. But whatever it is, I would look to the past few years, up until this later part of last year, in regards to where you've been putting in that hard work and discipline with the groups, community things, causes, contribution, satisfaction, and income from work. So for the next couple months with Saturn there, an opportunity to put in some more of that discipline and hard work into that area, which can then always pay off when that discipline is put into it, which is Saturn in the 11th. So Sagittarius, I hope you guys have a nice week. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to Sidereal Astrology, do check the description, because your sign might be different. And yeah, have a good one. Talk to you all next time.